Hi. So here's what I think. Privatization of water is robbing customers or the citizens of their voice, their choice, and the ability to access clean, portable water. And I'm going to give an example of my grandmother. My grandmother found out that she had a huge bill. It was one of those bills that stood out. It was a very glaring anomaly, and it just wasn't right in her mind, and she didn't know how she could have used that much water to come up with such a huge bill. So she queried that amount with the water board, but then the water board refused to rectify that issue. Instead, they tried to blame her for using that amount and maybe having a leakage, or maybe unknowingly having used that much water, and insisted that she pay. So every month she got this huge amount of a bill to pay, but she refused to pay it. And then the water board decided that they were going to install a prepaid water meter for her house. But then she told them to either rectify the bill issue first before installing the new prepaid water meter. And what usually happens when they replace the regular meter with a prepaid water meter is that they transfer the bill onto that meter. So each time you buy your water, you essentially pay for the other bill. So you're not really getting the water, instead you are paying for the previous bill. So there was this huge argument between the water board and my grandma and myself as well. And just to put this in a little bit of context, my grandmother at this time was very sick, and she has people who are not at home all day, so there's no way she could have gotten that huge bill. So water board has not installed that meter, and my grandmother has not paid for that particular month's bill. So it's a bit of a tug of war at the moment. So we'll see which side wins. But I'm just saying that, that's how privatization is robbing people of their voice, their choice, and also their ability to access clean potable water. Because in other cases, it means that for people who gave in, they haven't been able to buy water for them to consume in a regular way, because they're always paying for a bill that may not be theirs. And just to make things worse, when water board decided that they wanted to do an investigation, they suggested that my grandmother foots the bill of that investigation. So they would dig up everything else and check if there was a leakage on one of the pipes, but then my grandmother would have to pay for water board to investigate if they had a fault.
Water commodification in Malawi is a huge issue, and it's an issue that affects women and girls the most, because women and girls are the ones who use water a lot for basic needs and basic activities every day. And then you'll find that the water board in Malawi has atrociously high prices for water when water should be free, because it is a basic thing. It's a basic public service that the government needs to be providing for free. But because it is commodified in the way that it is in Malawi, you find that a majority of women who don't have access to clean water will end up getting water from rivers and streams, which is extremely unsafe for women, which now becomes a public health issue, right? So water is not something that needs to be commodified. It is a basic need. And it is a basic need that women need every day to survive. And it's also made worse because women make up a majority of the poor in the country. And so by commodifying water, we're worsening the burden that women have for just basic survival.